What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. I believe that XRP is going to the moon. XRP will be worth more than a lot of people think that's out there. There were a ton of people that didn't think that XRP would even get to a $100 billion market cap again. And when it got to a $200 billion market cap, a lot of those people were quiet. And you still had some of those people that would say, I don't believe it's going to a $300 billion market cap. Let me double down and triple down and quadruple down. I don't believe it's getting to any of these price points that you believe it's going to get to. So it's going to a lot higher than you think. And it's probably even going to go higher than I think. My level that I want to accept for most of my XRP is $100. I will still have some above that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go even further than that. You think about all the people that held Bitcoin, that mined Bitcoin or bought Bitcoin, early stages. A lot of them have sold what they had because it's worth $60,000 per coin, $100,000 per coin, and $120,000 per coin. They sold what they had because it's life-changing money, right? They spent maybe thousands of dollars on it, could have been tens of thousands, and now it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, that's life-changing gains and money, even if it's gone, a decade plus since we saw that. So, or it could have even been less. It depends on when you decided to buy it or mine it. But I believe XRP is going to be worth a lot more than people think. And I think it's still going to the moon. An analyst says that XRP is still going to the moon after it's done testing all of your patients. So before we get into this, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. I have a link for BTCC if you guys are interested. That's in the description. At the top of the description, where you can get a 10% deposit bonus, extra bonuses up to $10,055, and you can get 40% lower trading fees. So feel free to check out that link. It's at the top of the description where you guys can get started leverage trading, trading outright, or even demo trading if you wanted to. So, analyst Matthew reaffirms his bullish stance, saying XRP remains set for a major breakout once it firmly conquers its final boss, resistance. In a tweet today, Hughes shared a fresh update regarding his earlier XRP moon call. He reminded the community that XRP is still going to the moon, but after it's done testing all of your patients, meaning that you guys there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it went down to $2.75. It went down to whatever the price is. And now, what do I do? Do I sell that position? Do I get out of it? Do I whatever? And I have the max amount of patience for something that I truly believe in. I've showed you that with many positions that I had and many positions that I currently have. And once it does, every single position will test your patience. Every single market and sector will test your patience. And as long as you remain patient, you're golden. This suggests XRP's short-term performance could frustrate investors to a point of giving up. The commentary comes amid XRP's latest volatility. For context, XRP is trading at $3.03, currently lower than that, down 2.65% today, but still holding a 3.19% gain over the past week. As the coin has briefly touched $3.18 over the weekend before sliding back during today's dip. Despite the short-term weakness, market sentiment remains broadly bullish, supported by long-term technical indicators. XRP is back above its final boss angle. In the post, Hughes noted that XRP is back above the final boss angle a key resistance line within a gain fan framework that has highlighted in earlier analysis. Hughes previously pointed out that XRP multi-year chart shows a consistent pattern. Historic resistance levels have flipped into support before each major rally. Also, peaks from 2018, 2021, once capped by diagonal resistance, have already turned into support zones, strengthening the bullish structure. even though today, as we're looking at this article, which was from September 15th, we're looking at it now as we get into October, and we're actually lower than that point, even after seeing, the last dip that we saw there. But we can see this obviously push up a lot further, the 320s, the 360s, and $4 level as we move forward. So to Hughes, a $3 zone represents a crucial final boss resistance. XRP briefly broke above $3.60 for a few weeks ago. The coin has repeatedly dipped below $3 before attempting to reclaim the psychological level. Essentially, Hughes believes that the real test for XRP is converting the $3 area into a solid support, forming a base for a parabolic breakout similar to the past market cycles. For XRP holders, the current phase of dipping after brief pumps may continue to test their patience, but the technical picture continues to favor a major rally once the final boss resistance finally falls. Hughes is calling for XRP's price to soar to $26 by the end of this cycle, delivering over 750% gains. Broader bullish outlook. Other analysts echo Hughes' long-term optimism. The CEO of Real Vision has highlighted that capital is rotating out of Bitcoin into other major crypto assets. He believes XRP is now set for a higher growth phase. However, Powell did not specify how high the coin will go. Meanwhile, in a separate analysis, market watcher, I don't know how to say his name, I'm sorry, I apologize, but presented two bullish scenarios for XRP in the base case, which he favors a bull wave could send XRP up to $9, roughly 3 times gains from here. Meanwhile, the alternative case calls for a stronger rally that might extend XRP's price above $11. In other words, both scenarios suggest significant upside. Other analysts also predict XRP could reach $10, citing institutional demand and upcoming DeFi platforms and ETFs. Now, while we don't know what's going to happen with XRP in the background and even in front of our faces and even in use cases and all that stuff, we still understand that it is a net positive that's going to be for crypto overall. And if we don't have a full understanding of exactly how much crypto is going to be worth this bull cycle, and as we move along, the sky's really the limit. So saying that it's not going to get to an all-time high, saying it's not going to break the $5, $10 level, the $20 level, a $26 level, and not giving us reasons as to why, and then not even arguing against the other reasons that people would have to why it's going to increase, like there's no point in that. Right? XRP is going to go to the moon. Whatever that moon actually is, we know that what it has reached so far is already a high level. Seeing it at a $100 to $200 billion market cap is phenomenal, but I see it worth a lot more than that. Multiple trillions of dollars. And the only thing that's really holding that back is the timeline on that and how much supply gets offered within that timeline, right? So if it gets to a $20 price point, if it has a 50 billion coin supply or 60 billion coin supply, we know that that's going to be, a $1.2 trillion market cap, right? At those levels. However, if we're looking at a $20 price point with 100 billion coins, well, now you're looking at a $2 trillion market cap. So it gets a little bit more dicey, a little bit more, you have to be a little bit more decisive and, obviously talking about the capabilities, how far that can run. I believe it can be worth upwards of $5 trillion worth of a market cap. But again, it all really depends on the amount that's going to be offered, because that means that we're not at a $100 price point. That means that we're at like a $50 price point, which is still substantial to where we stand here today. So anyways, I want to know what you guys think and where this is going. I know that there are a lot of bullish people out there, but there are also a lot of bearish people that don't like XRP and just like other things. But I'm not one of those people. I like XRP and I believe in it above this point and still hold as much as I do because I do believe in it. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.